Maybe most of you have heard what Janet Jackson said about Kamala Harris. And the fact is that this is how Janet Jackson has felt for a very long time. And it goes bigger than Kamala Harris. It's how she's felt about people, black people, that she perceives as not black enough. So because Kamala Harris, and I haven't verified that, but if she had a white father, that is enough for Janet Jackson to say, okay, well, she's not fit for the position, to somehow put her down. So for Janet Jackson, if she ever sees this, let's put you in perspective here. Let's respect all the accolades and the hard work and everything you've contributed to the music industry. But maybe there was someone else. Like, people do not have to follow in your footsteps in order to be respected. And Kamala Harris, in no way, shape, or form, even though I don't really care for her as a person, has had a respectable career. And quite frankly, she did that without having to show her tits or shake her ass. And normally, Janet, Miss Jackson, whatever, I don't look down on people for that. But let's just compare apples to apples for a moment here. You made your career by performing on a stage from a young age when you really shouldn't have been. Should have been in school. But those are more comments about your upbringing, and I believe also your upbringing has a large part in why you have this bad attitude towards other black people. You do think you're better than them, and you're not. Just like I could look down on another white person, that doesn't make me better than them. That just means I'm a judgmental fuck. You are the last person on this planet I ever thought would do shit like that. To look down on somebody because they're not full black. You are just as bad as the white people that used to give you and your siblings a problem, you and your family a problem, you and every black person a problem. You are now no different from them. You think it's different, and it's not different. You're looking down on Kamala Harris because she was focusing on academics and building a respectable career. And again, by all accounts, you haven't had a, non-respectable career, but you found that one little thing to look down on her for. What do you think you're achieving? You taking this attitude like she's the one non-black, like she's an imposter trying to make for Trump? That's what we're saying here, Janet. We're saying we are pro-Trump now because you found one little weakness, what you perceive as a weakness in Kamala Harris. That is enough to say, well, she's not fit to run this country. Just like how people back in the day used to say that you were unfit to have a career and had a problem with it because you were a black woman. In the 80s, people had problems with you. You know this. You know it well better than I do. And I've read it on paper. I've heard it from other people. But the sad fact is that I know people who have worked with you and around you, and the same attitude, this is confirming what they said, because I've never met you before. That the same attitude that you have towards Kamala Harris is what you had towards Aaliyah Houghton. Because back in the day when she was rising up to fame before she died, she wanted to work with you, but you looked down on her because you resented her in a way, because she went on shows like Rosie O'Donnell. She went on talk shows. You felt that she wasn't black enough, but that she was having more doors opened for her because she wasn't black. She was kind of black. That was your attitude. And I never thought that was true until today. And I read your comments. Now, I don't know when this journalist actually published it, but I read it today, and that confirms it. It's sad that, number one, that you cannot support another woman who, quite frankly, again, who has had a more respectable career than yourself. She didn't have to show her tits. She didn't have to shake her ass. She didn't have to gyrate. She was there. Yeah, you know what? Let's show respect. You did a lot of hard work in your career, in your glory days. You did a lot of great hard work. You rehearsed a lot, you practiced a lot, you honed an image and a sound, and you achieved it. But now you're going to look down on this woman who was focusing on academics. She learned, the law. She was the attorney general and a district attorney. You think you're better than her on that end? You're not. And that's a hard thing to say, because up until today, I considered myself a Janet Jackson fan, and it's just incredibly sad that this is the attitude that you want to take, that she is some kind of fucking imposter because she's not full black. What do you think you're achieving by doing that? Okay, tell people to vote for Trump. You think he has black Americans' best interests at heart? You're going to go down the same QAnon. And that's where another point where I kind of lose myself is like, when you have black QAnon, and that does deserve its own conversation point. When we talk about black people who got hung up on QAnon, what are you achieving? Do you need a head scan? Are you doing okay? Are you eating too much wheat in your diet? Because clearly there's some kind of cognitive issue for you to go down that rabbit hole. And you think nobody can tell you, well, nobody can correct you on this because you're black. We can correct you. It's sad. It is just incredibly wrong, incorrect, out of line, and sad for you to feel that way towards other black people. Because there are so many other fucking challenges in this life, in this world. And you found another one. And actually, now to come to think of it, have you actually ever worked with, while we're talking about you have a problem with people who aren't, full black, as you put it. Like, let's think of how many other artists you didn't work with. Maybe you made problems for them. Maybe you on purpose released albums or singles the same time they were, because it's just sad. At the end of the day, it's just sad. And you are the last person, really, truly, the last person on this face of the planet I thought was going to do that, but apparently I was wrong. So, whatever.